In the whirlwind of modern life, patience has become a rare, almost forgotten virtue. We live in a hurry, with urgency pulsing through our veins, always seeking instant gratification. But what if true strength, the deepest wisdom, lay precisely in the art of waiting? And what if nature, in its majestic simplicity, could teach us the way to this strategic stillness? Prepare to unravel one of the most challenging human behaviors by observing the elegance and intelligence of an ancient master of patience, the crow. Its silent wisdom will guide us on a journey of self-discovery, revealing how waiting can be your greatest ally. Patience, what a complex and, at times, elusive emotion. It hides in the tiniest details of our daily lives and reveals itself in life's great challenges. In the incessant buzz of the modern world, where speed is idolized and gratification is instantly demanded, patience seems like a relic, a virtue from another time. The phone that doesn't charge fast enough, the app that takes too long to open, the notification that doesn't arrive the minute it is expected. These small sparks of irritation are just a warm-up for the impatience that consumes us in larger situations. Think about the simple act of waiting in a supermarket line. We check the clock, tap our foot, sigh, and with each passing second, irritation grows. Our brain, conditioned to speed, interprets slowness as a threat to our time, our productivity. This immediate impatience not only robs us of serenity, but can also lead to hasty actions, like abandoning the cart and giving up the purchase, or worse, taking out our frustration on the person serving us. But what if, in this same scenario, we could use the wait to observe the people around us, to plan the next meal, or simply to breathe and reconnect with the present? Impatience traps us in a future that hasn't arrived. Patience anchors us in the here and now. However, patience goes far beyond minor daily annoyances. It is the foundation of monumental achievements. A medical student who dedicates years to books and internships, postponing social life and leisure, demonstrates admirable patience. Their reward is not immediate, but the promise of a significant career and the ability to save lives. A couple facing financial challenges, health problems, or communication difficulties, but who persist and work together for their relationship, manifest the patience of love and commitment. They know that building something lasting requires time, forgiveness, and the ability to withstand storms. Lack of patience, on the other hand, is a trigger for regret. How many relationships have fallen apart due to a thoughtless word, a quick judgment? How many professional opportunities were lost because someone didn't know how to wait for the right moment to negotiate, or gave in to frustration before a project could bear fruit? Impatience blinds us to the full picture, prevents us from seeing the nuances, from understanding the true causes of a problem. It pushes us into action without reflection, and reflection is the fertile ground of wisdom. Cultivating patience does not mean inactivity or passivity. On the contrary, it is an active choice to observe, to analyze, to breathe before reacting. It is the ability to sow today, knowing that the harvest will only come tomorrow, or perhaps the day after tomorrow. This virtue, when developed, grants us mental clarity, emotional resilience, and a strategic advantage in a world that values speed over depth. It allows us to build castles, not just of sand, but of rock, knowing that the foundation was laid with the care and perseverance that only patience can offer. If there were an animal kingdom advisor to teach us about the fusion of intelligence, observation, and patience, it would undoubtedly be the crow. More than just a bird, the crow is a creature of remarkable sagacity, a true winged strategist who masters the art of intelligent waiting. Its reputation as one of the most intelligent animals on the planet is not a legend. It's a fact proven by countless studies and observations in its natural environment. Imagine a crow perched on a high branch at the top of a tree that offers it a panoramic view. It's not there by chance. Its bright, curious eyes scan the landscape below, catching every detail: the subtle movement of a rodent in the field, the traffic pattern on a busy road, the activity of other animals, or even the routine of human beings. There's no hurry in its movements, just a calculated calm and deep concentration. It doesn't act on impulse. It observes, analyzes, and waits. It knows that the perfect prey, the safest piece of food, or the least risky shortcut will only reveal themselves to those who have the patience to wait for the exact moment. Crows are famous for their ability to solve complex problems. They are masters at using tools, from bending a wire to reach inaccessible food, to dropping stones into water containers to raise the level and get a reward. These actions are not the result of mere instinct. They require planning, trial and error, and a persistence that only patience allows. They may fail once, twice, 10 times, but they keep trying, adjusting their strategy until the problem is solved. This resilience is a testament to their intelligence and their ability to delay gratification. Their intelligence extends to memory and social capacity. Crows can remember food cache locations for long periods and even recognize human faces, associating them with positive or negative experiences. A crow waiting on the curb for a car to crack a nut, it placed there is the personification of strategic patience, of intelligently using the environment to achieve a goal. It doesn't expose itself to unnecessary danger. It calculates the risk, waits for the opportunity, and acts with surgical precision. It is this fusion of keen intelligence, methodical observation, and unwavering patience that elevates the crow to the status of a true master of waiting. They cooperate with each other in search of food and demonstrate complex social behaviors that require a form of social patience, waiting their turn or collaborating toward a common goal. The adaptability of crows to diverse environments, from dense forests to busy cities, is proof of their practical intelligence and their patience in learning and adjusting. The relationship between human patience and crow behavior is not a mere poetic coincidence. It is a mirror reflecting patterns of behavior deeply rooted in intelligence and strategy. The crow shows us that patience is not passivity, but an active and intelligent way of being in the world, a crucial skill for survival and success. He studies the river, the current, the habits of the fish, and waits for the moment when the school is most vulnerable. His wait is an act of calculated observation, not inactivity. Similarly, a crow doesn't blindly dive for food. It plans. It waits for the moment when the prey is exposed, the ground is safe for landing, or the obstacle moves. Both the fisherman and the crow understand that impulsive and unprepared action leads to wasted energy and ineffective results. Let's draw a direct parallel. Consider a fisherman. He doesn't cast his net randomly. A good player doesn't move their pieces without thinking. They anticipate the opponent's moves, calculate the consequences of each play, and patiently build their strategy, waiting for the right moment for a decisive checkmate. This is the strategic patience of the crow, the ability to visualize the ultimate goal and to take each step with purpose, even if it means postponing immediate victory in favor of a greater, safer triumph. In the corporate world, a CEO who decides to wait for the best window of opportunity to launch a new product, instead of rushing the launch, is applying the same wisdom as the crow. They understand that the right timing can mean the difference between failure and market dominance. Think of the metaphor of a chessboard. The crow's patience also teaches us about resilience. When a crow tries to solve a problem and fails, it doesn't immediately give up. It persists, adjusts its strategy, tries another way. This is the patience of someone who understands that learning and success often come after multiple attempts and errors. Just like an athlete who trains exhaustively for years, enduring pain and frustration with their eyes fixed on the Olympic medal. Their patience is not resignation, but an inner fire that drives them to continue, despite the challenges. They know that the reward is proportionate to the time and effort invested. In both cases, human and animal, patience is a form of adaptive intelligence. It allows us to manage time, control impulses, and act more effectively. It is the ability to see beyond the immediate, to understand that some of life's greatest rewards require conscious and strategic waiting. Patience frees us from the tyranny of urgency and empowers us to act with wisdom. Instead of reacting impulsively, transforming waiting from a burden into one of our greatest assets. The crow's patience also teaches us about resilience. When a crow tries to solve a problem and fails, it doesn't immediately give up. It persists, adjusts its strategy, tries another way. This is the patience of someone who understands that learning and success often come after multiple attempts and errors. Just like an athlete who trains exhaustively for years, enduring pain and frustration with their eyes fixed on the Olympic medal. Their patience is not resignation, but an inner fire that drives them to continue, despite the challenges. They know that the reward is proportionate to the time and effort invested. In both cases, human and animal, patience is a form of adaptive intelligence. It allows us to manage time, control impulses, and act more effectively. It is the ability to see beyond the immediate, to understand that some of life's greatest rewards require conscious and strategic waiting. Patience frees us from the tyranny of urgency and empowers us to act with wisdom. Instead of reacting impulsively, transforming waiting from a burden into one of our greatest assets. Patience, both in its human manifestation and in the intelligence of the crow, is not a mystical or purely behavioral trait. It has solid foundations in neuroscience and evolutionary biology. Understanding how the brain operates when we are patient helps us value and cultivate this essential skill. In humans, the ability to be patient is intrinsically linked to the development. Although their brain structure differs from that of mammals, they possess an area equivalent to our prefrontal cortex, the nidipallium caudolateral. This region is crucial for their impressive cognitive abilities, such as tool use, the ability to plan sequential actions, and to solve abstract problems. Research has shown that crows can pass self-assessment tests, where they need to wait for a larger reward, exhibiting a remarkable ability to delay gratification. This behavior indicates complex neural processes that allow the evaluation of future rewards and the control of immediate impulses. Fundamental characteristics of patience. An activity of the prefrontal cortex, one of the most evolved areas of our brain, located in the front part of the head. This region is the headquarters of executive functions, planning, complex decision-making, problem-solving, impulse control, and the ability to delay gratification. When we resist the temptation to eat the sweet now to maintain a diet, or when we save money instead of spending it impulsively, it is our prefrontal cortex that is in full operation, evaluating the future consequences of our present actions. Neuroimaging studies show that activity in this area increases when people demonstrate greater self-control and patience. This ability to mentally simulate the future is what allows us to weigh costs and benefits over different time horizons. In crows, surprising intelligence and patience also have a robust neural substrate. From an evolutionary biology perspective, patience can be seen as an adaptive advantage. Animals that can delay gratification and wait for more favorable conditions tend to have greater success in survival and reproduction. In both humans and crows, it represents an advanced form of intelligence that allows the evaluation of future scenarios, the suppression of immediate impulses, and the making of decisions that lead to more advantageous long-term results. Understanding this scientific basis empowers us to see patience not as a burden, but as a powerful cognitive skill that we can develop and refine. For example, a patient predator that waits for prey to approach undetected saves energy and increases its chances of capture. An animal that stores food for winter demonstrates a form of strategic patience that ensures its survival in times of scarcity. This ability to foresee and control impulses has been selected throughout evolution as a valuable trait. In summary, patience is not a purely behavioral trait. It is a complex interaction between brain structures, neural processes, and evolutionary pressures. The wisdom of the crow, with its fusion of keen observation and strategic patience, manifests itself in surprising ways in our daily lives. If we look closely, we will see echoes of this behavior in situations that define our success, our relationships, and our inner peace. The impatient one would launch something hastily, incomplete, just to be first. They know that each seed has its time, that it needs water, sunlight, and patience. The crow teaches us that nature doesn't rush, but everything comes to fruition. Similarly, to achieve complex goals, such as learning a new language or building a house, we need the same mindset as the gardener. Each step is essential. Each phase has its rhythm. Haste can damage the root, while patience nurtures robust growth. The crow entrepreneur, however, patiently invests time in development, extensively researches the market, tests prototypes, listens to feedback, and refines their creation. They know that a successful launch depends on preparation, a solid foundation, and timing. They don't rush to harvest before the time is right. Their patience translates into a higher quality product and, ultimately, more lasting success in the market. Just like the crow that waits for the perfect opportunity to secure abundant and safe food. These are like mini-stories that reveal the power of intelligent waiting. Think of the entrepreneur developing a new product or service. Imagine a gardener planting a seed. They don't pull the tiny plant to make it grow faster. Consider conflict management. In a heated argument, the impatient reaction is to yell back, accuse, escalate the fight. But the person who emulates the crow's patience takes a deep breath. Starting a strict diet or an exhausting exercise plan with the expectation of immediate results leads to frustration and abandonment. The crow's wisdom, however, reminds us that lasting changes come from consistent habits and a long-term commitment. It is the patience of someone who understands that the body adapts gradually, that every small step is a victory, and that true transformation is a process, not an event. They listen. They observe body language, tone of voice, unspoken words. It is the ability to see beyond the immediate, to trust the process, and to act at the most opportune moment, just like the crow that, with its shrewd calm, navigates the world, reaping the fruits of intelligent waiting. They wait for the right moment to intervene, to offer a perspective, to calm things down. This active patience is not weakness, but a demonstration of strength and emotional intelligence, capable of transforming a moment of breakdown into an opportunity for understanding and reconciliation. Just like the crow that observes the scenario before taking action, the patient person in a conflict seeks to understand the situation before reacting, allowing for a more effective and less damaging resolution. Even in the pursuit of health and well-being, the crow's patience is a guide. In each of these scenarios, patience is not just a passive virtue. It is an active tool for analysis, strategy, and resilience. By delving into the profound wisdom of the crow and its strategic patience, we are invited to look within ourselves with a new perspective. The lessons we draw from this master of observation go far beyond simply waiting. They guide us towards self-knowledge and mastery over our own lives. The first and most impactful lesson is that patience is not an innate quality for a select few, but a skill that can be cultivated. Just as a crow refines its tool-using technique through trial and error, we can train our minds to be more patient. This begins with awareness, noticing when impatience arises, recognizing its triggers, and then choosing a different response. It's like a muscle that, the more it's exercised, the stronger it becomes. Instead of reacting impulsively, we can practice pausing, deep breathing, observing before acting. Another vital reflection is on the value of time and process. In a world that demands speed, the crow reminds us that the most valuable things often require time to mature. A good idea needs incubation, a strong relationship needs continuous nurturing, and a meaningful life goal requires a patient journey. Learning to respect the natural timing of things frees us from the anxiety of rushing and allows us to enjoy each stage of the path, no matter how challenging. It's not about rushing to the end, but about enriching the process. Patience, inspired by the crow, also teaches us the art of enhanced observation. The crow doesn't just see, it interprets. It reads the environment, the signs, the movements. This is a skill we can transfer to our lives, observing people more attentively, listening more deeply, analyzing situations more calmly before drawing conclusions. Patient observation reveals nuances that haste would hide, allowing us to make more informed decisions and interact with the world more intelligently and empathetically. Finally, patience invites us to a deep acceptance of uncertainty. The crow has no guarantee that prey will come or that the nut will crack perfectly, yet it persists. Similarly, life is full of uncertainties. Patience allows us to navigate them with greater serenity, trusting that, even without all the answers, we can continue moving forward, learning and adapting. It's the wisdom of knowing that total control isn't always possible, but persistence and active waiting can open unexpected paths. May the image of the crow, with its astute intelligence and unwavering patience, be a beacon on your journey. May it inspire you to cultivate a patience that is not passivity but an active force. A force that empowers you to observe more, plan wisely, persist in the face of challenges, and act with precision at the right moment. Allow the strategic stillness of the crow to guide you toward deeper self-knowledge and a more fulfilling and conscious life.